Thank you, Jeffrey. Distinguished colleagues, co-panelists, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to be here. I would like to thank my British colleagues for organizing this Autumn University. It is extremely instructive and I really like it. It is pleasant as well. So thank you very much indeed. Allow me just a very short reservation at the very beginning of my presentation. I wouldn't even try to pretend to be an expert. I'm clearly simply a politician for many years already with a long-standing experience. I started under communism era in Poland, although I have never been in any way a part to this system. To the contrary, towards the end of my studies, I joined Solidarność, and actually it was the major formation of my thoughts and beliefs. Moreover, until now, taking into account all my fantastic functions, this work at that time, under communism in Poland, being a member of opposition, was the most fantastic, challenging, beautiful job. Actually, a love of my life, I would say. I'm very much focused on well-being of my people, of Poles, and the rest of Central and Eastern Europe. I truly believe in our role, our joint role in the Western world. It was my whole life aiming at this. I used to look as a student towards the EU and naturally NATO as a natural part of our life, and it was my clear drive to enhance our future with both organizations. The European Union was for many decades the place of prosperity and security, and surely for us Poles, it was not only joining the place for economic security or for prosperity reasons. For me personally, it was the additional component to our transatlantic participation, and we are strongly transatlantic. It was additional security component, bringing us closer to the Western world. Therefore, we look very carefully at towards all threats and challenges happening to whole Western world, because we feel it also challenges to our own well-being. At the beginning of this legislature within the European Parliament, I used to say that contrary to all provision of a bit outdated European security strategy, our whole neighborhood, or even broader neighborhood, is on fire. To the south, it is unrest from Marrakesh to Bangladesh, and to the east, which is not surprising for us, there is neo-imperialist tendency within Russian Federation. It did not start all of a sudden with Crimea. Actually, it was explicitly written in Russia's official documents, in doctrines, and concepts, and strategic documents, as early as 2005, 2007. And whoever was able to read it, and myself, well, I'm a politician, but I also tend to be a bit analytic. I used to read it simply, and I was afraid, and therefore Poland's position also under my presence within Polish cabinet was very firm vis-à-vis these attempts, as with my whole, I would say, our genetic experience somehow, because they are simply, it's not just imprinted in our genes, but it is experience of whole centuries, knowing the reasonable way of dealing with Russians. I'm not in opposition to Russian society, to the contrary. I know their language, I know their culture, I know many people, and I'm really in favor of our being friendly. Unfortunately, Russia's policies, and it is Russia's will to play at least part of the sovereign territories of Europe or EU member states, NATO members as God's playgrounds, as pure sphere of influence. And believe me, it is like this, because we see, and as in the aftermath of the invasion on Ukraine and annexation of Crimea, we see more and more Russian intelligence there, the destabilization of political scenes, to allow me to refer to Professor Clark's remarks. Already several months ago, I used the term balkanization to our region, actually, because what I am afraid is that with destabilization and proximity to unrest and war, we cannot pursue the economic growth. That is impossible. Investment in these kind of areas is not stable, and it does not allow the real prosperity. What we are afraid of is actually inability of Western world to cope with these problems in a concise and decisive way. Somehow it is always that countries with aggressors in one area are necessary to solve problems in other areas. And somehow it is just competition of engagements, I would say. That is a problem. We need a concise and holistic approach to all these dangers. The experience of our countries, surely of Poland, is engagement in our southern neighborhood. We had, and hopefully we still have, the position to discuss on a very good neutral ground with both Muslim countries and, for example, Israel. So I think that after diminishing presence of the United States, because that is a factor, unfortunately, and because of this, and also reset policy, we had also to start being much more on our own, to make our policies more, I would say, autonomous in this. Although I'm very much in favor of a very strong transatlantic link, and we try to prove that Europe united, so both the western part of Europe and eastern part of Europe, is absolutely necessary, and we'll do anything we are able to in order to keep us in this sphere. We are simply credible alliance, and we would like alliance to remain as it is. Thank you.
Anna, thank you very much.